any time in recruiting, there's ups and downs. The situation with us this year, unlike a lot of years, is we just didn't have a lot of scholarships, and which creates a lot of different things. We ended up putting 4 players that were here, or not 4, but 2 players that were here. We had to solve our problem in the kicking game. We didn't have a punter, so we signed a punter. Didn't have a kicker, so we put a kicker on scholarship, and then we had 2. Josh Fulton was a gray shirt that we added on, and Perkovickia obviously is here right now. So in saying that kind of limited where we were at. So we sat down, looked at what we needed to do and what we needed to get in a class. We felt like we could sign 14. You're right around 14, 15. We ended up signing 12, 13. There's still a couple out there that we're looking at as time goes on in different areas. But I'm happy with the class. I'm happy with the guys that we got. Obviously, we lost some players. That's just how recruiting is. I think one of the biggest things that we saw this year that we haven't seen, is a flip of recruits. Normally, we've been on the other side of that, but and I don't know that there's any reason for it or what happens. Sometimes it's what other people say. Sometimes they look at the roster and the opportunity to play early. There's just a lot of different things that are involved in that, and that's just recruiting. But I'm excited about the group that we have. We got 3 offensive linemen that I really like, and that's what we wanted to take. They're really good football players. We got 1 receiver, Gary Chambers, who I think is going to be a heck of a football player for us. Obviously, the quarterback issue might be as good as any place in the country when you're able to get 2 quarterbacks like that. And defensively, in our defensive front, we got 2 tackles that we think are outstanding players, and in the end that we think is outstanding. Izzy Marshall at linebacker, who's got a chance, a great upside, and I'll go through the other stuff with you, and then a corner and a safety. So, I mean, as we went through it, we got areas that we wanted to. Not totally, but that's kind of what recruiting's all about. That you look at our class and some of the flips and some of the things that happen, and people panic a little bit, but I mean, we accomplished what we feel like we needed to accomplish. So I'll go through this list real quick with you. And Mike Perkovickia, we all know about him. He's here now on campus, so he's involved in our workouts and so forth. And outstanding quarterback, one of the better quarterbacks in the state of California. Ezekiel Bishop is a safety that we really liked. He had committed to Arizona early and decided to come to Arizona State. He's out of Denver, as you can see. The kind of guy that we like. He's very similar to Eddie Elder, I guess, if you were going to compare him to somebody. Gary Chambers, I've liked ever since we had him in camp last year. He's a big, tall receiver. When I had my home visit with him, he's up to like 210 pounds, 6'3", can run, excellent basketball player, the kind of guy that you want outside. And that's what we were looking for. We were looking for an outside receiver. As you look down the road, we've got some guys that can really run inside, so that was one of them. Michael Eubank, I mean, what can you say? I mean, 6'5", 230 pounds, can run, can throw. I mean, he was a guy that was kind of a sleeper early in recruiting, just because he hadn't played a lot. And as time went on, we offered him. We were the first ones to offer him, and then all of a sudden it was just a bunch of people offering him. And he visited a couple other places and decided to stay at Arizona State. And repeating myself, I mean, you take him and Mike. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know that there's a team in the country that signed 2 quarterbacks as good as we did. So, a lot of times you look at positions, and as we know over the last 3 years here, you better have one to win a lot of football games. And so, to me, 1 quarterback might be worth 2 or 3 recruits, depending on how good they are. Devin Goodman, I'm really excited about. He's a guy from Florida. We went into Florida not on a whim, but we had a couple of guys that were interested in coming here. It's not like we're going to spend a lot of time in the state of Florida, but we had some connections with Goodman and Gianni, who ended up going to Miami. But at the end, he became very heavily recruited. Miami, a lot of guys came in on him. He's a little bit bigger than 6'2". I mean, he's more like 6'3", 275 pounds is what he is right now. We're going to play him at center. He could play guard, but he's an outstanding football player. Josh Hubner, I talked to you about the issue as far as our kicking game. You've got to have a punter. If you don't, you got problems. So he was a guy out there from here and got a strong leg, and we're excited about him. Mo Latu, to me, having watched and had him in camp, might be the most underrated player that we signed. I mean, he's 310 pounds, 306 pounds, whatever he is, and strong. He's a force at defensive tackle and the things that we do. He could come in and play, some as a freshman for us. Izzy Marshall, a guy that we offered early, a guy that we thought was the first linebacker that we did offer. He played safety and then moved up, but he can run. He's the kind of guy that we want in our defense, and really excited about him and what he can do. David Moala, defensive lineman from Gardena, from Sarah High School, got a lot of offers in the last 2 or 3 weeks of recruiting. He's a lot like Will Sutton, if I was going to compare him to somebody. He's 6'1", but he's 290 pounds. He's got great quickness, and those are the 2 tackles I was talking about. Sean O'Grady from Tesoro High School. Probably didn't get as much pub as some of the other people, but we've been watching him for a long time. In my home visit, he's 245 pounds now. He's a guy that wanted to come here, committed to us early, and then just worked on getting better. And he can run. I think if you watch him on tape, which a lot of you guys have, I mean, he's a darn good football player. B. Tafilo, again, he's somebody we had in our camp out of Moon Valley. 6'3", 280 pounds, probably bigger than that. In the one-on-ones that we had in camp, I know a lot of you were at that camp. This guy's a guard that's physical and big and athletic and probably very underrated compared to some of the other people that that play that same position. So we're excited about him. Rashad Wadood committed early to us. Took a couple visits. I guess that's a thing anymore in recruiting. I'm committed, but I'm not committed. I'm coming, coach, but I got one more visit, and I've heard that one before. But he's an outstanding football player. We thought he was the best corner out there, and he went to was going to go to Miami, visit a couple different places. A good football player. And then Brent Walker, who we offered early, did some research on him academically. He's going to be fine. But he's one of the better tackles around, and committed to us, and I mean, he's what you want, 6'5", 300 pounds, and he's a guy in that group of 3, and we can put him with the 3 that we got this year. That gives us a group of 6 young guys, which is kind of what it's all about in the offensive front, which is something we've been working for a long time to get to that position. And then Capelli, and he's not on the signing class, but Capelli Conacetti, who we signed a couple years ago, I guess. He was a quarterback out of Grant High School. He qualified late and has been at COS, College of Sequoias in Visalia, California. He started at quarterback for them the first 4 games. We felt when we recruited him he was going to be a linebacker. They moved him to linebacker about the last 6 games. If you want to look it up on tape, and he's going to be a middle linebacker. The great thing with him, he's got 4 to play 3, or 3 to play 4, 4 to play 3, and so he can come in and learn that position. He's athletic, he can run, and he's 240-pound middle linebacker. So, we're excited about him, and he'll be here in the summertime. he doesn't have to get into AA because he was a qualifier, so he can come in and 24 units with 2.0 and be ready to go, and that's going to happen with him. So again, like I said earlier, there is one or two guys out there, not necessarily in high school, that that we're looking at that are really good football players. Right now, we're at about 83 scholarships, so we do have a couple left. But I mean, you see the class, and it puts us at right at the edge. So, our class is small, but I think it's really, really good. So